Hi, I'm Laura Klopp, and in this podcast, Creating Safe Schools, I'll be exploring ways that teachers and administrators can make their schools as safe, welcoming, and affirming as possible. I'll interview members of the LGBTQ community to allow them to share their experiences and to allow us as allies to learn from them. I'll talk with legal experts, administrators, teachers, and we'll hear from the students themselves. Together, we can do our part to ensure that every student at school feels safe, confident, and secure. For more information on this topic, visit creatingsafeschools.com. Today's podcast will be part memory, part tribute, and part cautionary tale. Today, I'll be talking about my friend Charlie. I first met Charlie when I was in my mid-30s. I was going through a divorce not of my choosing. I'd been married for 15 years. I had 2 young children. And I was feeling incredibly lacking in self-confidence, incredibly unsure of myself. I was attending a local Unitarian Universalist church, and one day, in walked Charlie. He was tall, bleach blonde hair, radiant smile, super tan. He was wearing a boa, and he was wearing makeup, and he was wearing diamonds, or rhinestones, but on Charlie they were always diamonds. And he looked beautiful and confident and radiant. We became friends over time, and he was a constant support to me. He was always telling me I was fabulous and that I just needed to see it. He saw in me what I didn't see, what was maybe not even there at the time, what I had lost a little bit along the way. He helped me grow into being fabulous and find that part of myself again and embrace it. Charlie was an artist like me, so we would talk art. His art was raw and powerful and dynamic like him. In some ways, he was so open and free and willing to be himself. But he was also very private, and he was afraid of being vulnerable. One day he became sick, and he disappeared. He was gone for quite a while. He died virtually alone, with one friend by his side, one friend in whom he had confided. And most of us didn't know where he had gone or how to reach him. We just heard word when he died. Charlie's funeral. I learned after he died that his family, the family he had grown up with, his extended family, lived just 20 minutes away. They actually lived in the community where I live. But they had not been in touch for years. When he was young, his family didn't accept him, so he left to avoid their attempts to change him, their disapproval. The approval he gave so freely to others was what he had yearned for himself for so long. And the thing is, they didn't change him. They lost him. At his funeral, arranged by his family, who never accepted him, he was dressed like an accountant. Dark suit, dark tie, white shirt. The only makeup on his face was that which the undertaker used to hide the pallor of death. I didn't recognize him. Finally, in death, they were able to do what they had always wanted to do, to mold him to their image. And in death, he had no say. He was forced to comply, to wear the dark suit and the dark tie, to forego the boa and the diamonds and the makeup. I showed up to his funeral in a red dress, bright red, with a ruffled skirt, tears of ruffles cascading down, dripping with every diamond and rhinestone I could get my hands on. His family They honored, they memorialized who they wanted him to be, the image in their minds. But that image is what kept them from knowing the real Charlie all those years. I did my best to honor who he was and what he meant to me. It's a shame, really. His family, they lost out on experiencing how fabulous Charlie was and how generous with his love and acceptance. They lost out on witnessing his creativity and his beauty, all because they wanted to decide who he would become, instead of just letting him become who he was. So if you are trying to fit your child into a box of your own design, a gender box, a sexuality box, a gender expression box, you are not going to change your child. You are going to lose them. Is your box worth that to you? I'm Laura Klopp, and this is Creating Safe Schools. My goal is to make school and society safer, more accepting, and more affirming for everyone. Learn more at creatingsafeschools.com. Let's be kind, shall we? What else is there? Thank you for joining me, and have a great day.